My name's Dan, and long ago I gave up the city life to live in an eco-village in the vast rural expanses of northeastern Missouri. I may be surrounded by nothing but corn and soybeans, and I may be doused by pesticide drift from time to time, but I grow lots of my own food organically. One of the major reasons I wanted to live off the land was to be able to grow the food I want and know exactly where it came from. A lot of videos about self-sufficiency will show you clips of their garden growing, and they'll talk about how self-sufficient they are, but rarely do they seem to show you the food they actually produce and what they do with it. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual produce of my gardens and how it actually ends up in my belly and makes it so that I don't have to depend on a grocery store or Amazon or Uber Eats to feed myself. Probably one of the earliest garlic seasons ever in this very early season. Usually I harvest in mid-July, but this year it's late June. The harvest is amazing though, huge heads. I have a very particular way of processing my garlic for long storage. You can check out that video to find out more. This one with the really big heads is elephant garlic, and other varieties I grow are German Extra Hardy, Persian Star, Chrysalis Purple for the hardnecks, and Lourdes Italian for the softnecks. I still have perfectly good Lourdes heads from last year still to use, but I'm on the dregs of last year's garlic. These storage onions should last me through the winter and into the spring when I'll start getting walking onions coming in. Incredible how fast these weeds grow. I've been gone for a week and these were pretty much weed-free. These are a cranberry bean that I allow to dry down for long storage. I cook these up for tacos or beans and rice. They can be soaked and cooked up at any time of the year. They're delicious and I save my seeds from year to year so I never have to buy them. And I grow epazote right next to them. If you know about epazote, it's a Mexican herb that tastes a bit like oregano, but it's supposed to reduce the gassy effects of beans. For that reason, I consider it a plant of the gods. Where I live, and a lot of people live in the Midwest, there's nothing but corn and soybean fields as far as the eye can see. But these are the worst kind of corn and soybeans. These endless miles of rich farmland are dedicated to producing food for livestock and fuel for cars. Almost none goes directly to feeding humans. 40% of corn goes to produce ethanol, which is added to gasoline, and the rest feeds dairy cows and beef steers. Some soybeans go to produce biodiesel fuel, but most is fed to dairy cows and beef steers. But there are healthy, nutritious, and delicious forms of these crops we can grow in our gardens to feed real humans. When we're eating them directly instead of passing them through animals, we get the full food value of them, and it's much more sustainable than feeding them to livestock. For soybeans, I grow edamame, one of my favorite vegetables. If you've only ever had it frozen from the store, you have to try it fresh from the garden. It's a completely different animal. Actually, it's not an animal at all, which is why it's so much better for you and the planet. Soybeans can also be made into tofu and other delicious soy products for direct human consumption. I'm blanching these edamame in boiled water before freezing them for long storage in my super efficient chest freezer. But not only can I grow sweet corn here, I can grow popcorn and flour corn, Jamaican tamales and tortillas. Obviously, there are countless other ways to consume flour corn. For lunch today, I'm cooking up a balanced meal of the Midwestern staples, corn and soybeans. They just aren't the typical version of corn and soybeans. Clean beans. Which one is this? This is Persian Star, and this is one of the German Extra Hardy. I'm going to set that one aside and do the Persian Star first. That one's a little small. Most of them are nice like this. These are usually the ones that I like to set aside for seed for next year. But mostly I just process these. You can watch my garlic video. It talks about how I do this. But I leave a little bit of stem there and then cut the roots off. That's pretty much all I do. These smaller bags are my seed garlic, which I'll plant out this year in mid-October. I've been saving my own seed garlic for decades now. I never have to buy new. This bigger bag of garlic is for general use, and although I can mostly tell the difference between my varieties by appearance, I usually just put them all together in a bag and hang them in my house for long storage. Garlic has to be one of the easiest crops to grow, and it produces abundantly every season. So I was able to put up my entire garlic and onion supply for the year. This is a collection of what I put up this year. I've got my onions and garlic over here. I've got like tomato sauce, salsa, pears from last year, some cherries. What is this? Oh, this is oregano from this year from my plants. This is like a shelf that I have in my house here. I've got one here and then another smaller one over on that side. And this is just where I store my canned goods for the year. You know, put up tomato sauce or salsa or whatever it is, and then store it up here, and then I eat it throughout the year. So it's a great way to be able to extend my harvest and make use of it through the rest of the year. And I just hang up my garlic and my onions in these bags in the space here, just in regular room temperature for the season. I froze a bunch of my sweet corn harvest and put up several bags of edamame in the freezer. The edamame won't last long because it's one of my favorite vegetables, and I could probably eat it almost every day if I had enough. I did 2 plantings this season, so I've had an abundance of edamame to eat. I'm also hoping to get some seed off of it, though something has been getting into my electric netting and eating the seeds out of the pods. All the seed from the first planting was eaten, but I'm hoping I'll get some from my second planting. I've got a few more self-sufficiency videos coming up documenting my life homesteading in an eco-village. If you want to see another video about self-sufficiency, click on the link right here. And I just wanted to start a new thing where at the end of my videos I respond to a comment from a viewer. This week's comment was from Ozark Refugee, one of my fellow Missourians possibly. Anyway, Ozark Refugee commented, "The only thing causing climate change is HAARP." So I had to look this up, and apparently this is the latest right-wing conspiracy theory about everything from climate change to what's been causing these supercharged hurricanes. HAARP is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, and it's a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere, which is just a layer of the Earth's atmosphere. It had been a project of the US Air Force, but now it's done by the University of Alaska. It uses an instrument to send high-frequency radio waves into the ionosphere to excite areas of it, essentially creating something like an aurora or northern lights. So the big secret is this is being used to control the weather. So the argument is that these hurricanes are caused by radio signals being sent into the ionosphere, even though they have no ability whatsoever to affect the actual weather. Well, I just have to say I think Ozark Refugee is wrong. The more likely culprit is AARP, the American Association of Retired Persons. I mean, you think about it, older people are always saying how cold they are. It would make sense that they would want to make the climate warmer so they didn't have to keep walking over to adjust the thermostat. Conspiracy theory debunked. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share, and give a thumbs up to the video. And thanks again to my patrons on Patreon. Your support helps to keep my videos coming, and if you do like my videos and you want to see more, why not become a patron? It takes a lot of work to put these videos together, and I'm doing it all myself. My videos have inspired people to live more sustainably, gotten them interested in intentional community, and even brought many people to visit Dancing Rabbit Eco Village to explore life in an eco village. I've even gotten some people to move here. Keep watching these videos and keep leaving great comments. I love reading them if they're not from trolls. See you next time.